Namaste. Welcome to Getting Intimate with Intimacy, space for deep exploration of the mind, body, and soul connection. I am Jamie London Wahlberg, he, they pronouns.
I am Katie Jane, she, her, Faye.
I am Raven Mist, she, her, Faye as well.
Getting Intimate with Intimacy will cover consistent multimedia content spanning all forms of intimacy, from sexual to intellectual and everything in between.
Our content is created for all beings and bodies and abilities 18 and up.
Our content can be enjoyed on YouTube as well as Insight Timer and OnlyFans. The links will be in the description for our live streams.
We really look forward to experience the infinite layers of intimacy with all of you.
And remember,
Intimacy
starts within.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Pride Month. I don't know if we said that last time. Did we wish anybody happy Pride last week? Happy Pride, everyone. Those who are celebrating. For many of us, it's the end of the month, but we're super excited to be back here. It's our first integration session with Raven, which is super awesome. I am Jamie London Wahlberg, he, they pronouns.
I'm Katie Jane, she, her, Faye.
I am Raven Mystic, she, her.
And we are back for episode 27 of Getting Intimate with Intimacy. Today, we're going to support you in our integration, as well as ourselves, of how does cultivating the observer role deepen our intimacy. We have had some incredible discussions between the three of us and those who have commented in about this topic, and we're going to do a quick little overview of what it's been like the last two episodes, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go watch them. We recommend that you go take a look, especially if this topic resonates with you. So the key themes were that the observer role as a tool for self-awareness and growth. The episode emphasizes cultivating the observer mindset to step outside of one's immediate emotional reactions, enabling deeper self-awareness, understanding triggers, and making conscious choices. Deepening mental and emotional intimacy through observation. Practicing observation allows individuals to get better understanding their thoughts, fears, insecurities, and unmet needs, leading to more authentic communication and compassionate relationships, both with oneself and others. And the power of self-compassion, forgiveness, and patience. The discussion highlighting how observing with judgments fosters self-compassion and forgiveness, essential for healing past wounds, rewiring limited beliefs, and cultivating patience as part of an ongoing growth process. Three of our biggest breakthroughs were that the observer is the adult within us, recognizing that the observer role is the mature higher self that can ground us, provide perspective, and help avoid reactive behaviors rooted in childhood trauma or repressed emotions. Time and patience are essential in transformation, understanding that healing and growth are processes, not instantaneous, and that cultivating patience and consistent observation ultimately accelerates clarity, emotional regulation, and self-love. And then reclaiming agency by shifting from victimhood to co-creation, realizing that embracing the observer role helps the individuals move away from the victim mentality, allowing them to reclaim their power, rewrite narratives, and consciously choose new stories and responses in life. There was obviously so much that happened. KJ, is there anything else that you feel like is missing in the juice before we get to integrating?
There was something I was thinking about this morning, and actually, there's something you said caught my attention, and that was about cultivating patience. We talked a lot about, presence and being present with ourselves, and detaching temporarily from emotional, logic, and the separation and the blending and all of those things, which are lovely, and it's given us insight to our past and our present and the ability to make changes. And so what I was just thinking about it as, like, we have different kinds of tools in our tool belt, right, on our healing journey. Some are very short term. You only use them for a short term, and maybe you bring them out again later for a short term, right, use. But this role of the observer is like a long term tool. And that's exactly what you just said. It's about also helping cultivate patience with the process, because processes are also different levels and layers and lengths of time, right? As we are cyclical beings, we've talked about so many times, right? So we're bound to see things and patterns cycle through. And cultivating the role of the observer has helped me cultivate more patience, I will say, with myself. I'm not perfect and I am still a Scorpio and I still want everything to be, all at once. Yay. That's my nature. And I'm grateful, like I said, for the patience that I have learned. Also, your support system, like leaning into whoever your emotional support humans are, right? And saying, hey, I need a reminders sometimes. Um, and so I've been blessed with my fiance and others who have reminded me about patience and about the fact that maybe I'm talking through, thinking through, processing through, utilizing the view of the observer, right? I can verbalize it. And then still we get wrapped up in our heads, right? Of saying, hey, wow, that's a lot of information to process, right? And then being able to come back and center and ground. So I've just really definitely loved the conversation. I'm excited to pull some oracle cards. May or may not have some harmonic channeling come through. My voice has been a little scratchy. It's gotten really hot here the last few days, over 105. So yeah. But yes.
Thank you.
For your contributions.
Thank you for sharing. Honestly, that resonates so much with the way that I've been in the last couple of days. Is in that frustration of that being a lot through the process, and then being like, "Ugh, I can't believe that I'm still frustrated about whatever this is." It's like I could see that this is not serving me, and yet I'm still there. And being patient with the fact that that part of the process is valuable as well. Raven, is there more juice to squeeze about this for you? Is there more that you feel is on top of mind that you want to share before we integrate?
Hmm. Well, for me and my role in it, it brings me clarity, okay, and awareness, and it allows me to discern my patterns, right? And when I am in that mental mind chatterbox, I literally just drop down to my heart chamber. And what is my heart asking me for do now? What would love do? Those type of things, not all these my emotions, right? Yes, we're emotional, and I'm a Cancer, but I'm not going to use my astrology placements for how I react to what that's just not right. Just because you have those, whatever, don't you, that's just for me. For me, it's like, okay, yeah, we are, each and every one of us has those placements, but we all have a positive and not so whatever, and I just stay neutral with that because we all have that, right? But if you're aware of that, and how can you work on it? As far as a Scorpio, it's all about intimacy and learning to let go. That's what they teach us, letting go of things, right? But also, too, and not having impulsive judgment. That impulsive initiate, just to have that impulsive judgment, right? That's where I always say come in to be neutrality, especially in the field that we are in, because we hear all kinds of layers, all kinds of life concerns, very, very life eventful concerns and things in where people are in their mental, and how we can even incorporate that and assist them with even they can even observe. Some of them aren't even aware that they even have these tools in these toolbox. Yes, we're going to use some of them for a short term, but this is a lifetime, like a lifetime warranty, right? And for me, it's about self-mastering your emotions of mental and mindful, but also having that body. You have to have that body's going to react and tune into, does that feel good to me? Does that not feel good to me? Is there a red flag? Just those checkpoints and those check-ins. It's just very, very vital. And to sit with that and process that and know that you don't have to have it all done right then and right there, because you only have so much time during the day, but it's how you balance your time as well. But yeah.
Thank you for those reflections. Yes, you both spoke to time, and that was something we spoke a lot about in the last 2 weeks, right? Is that the perception of time is an illusion, and the observer mode allows us to slow time down. And yes, I agree. Not utilizing not only astrology, but other things, titles that we give ourselves, while we may resonate, making those reasons for things happening or not happening takes can take our power away from us as much as it can also support us, and having that balance like anything else in terms of leaning into that, as awareness. And I love how much clarity that it gives you, and how much peace. And I certainly believe that I have come to be a more and more patient and somewhat less impulsive person, and always growing in, in that as well. Yes, I have noticed in the last couple of days in particular, with some things that I'm navigating, that I am proud of how much patience I have cultivated, because I mean, frankly, neither of you have known me in like truly what was Jamie impatience. Throughout much of my life, like I really came a very long way prior to even meeting KJ. But I would even say that KJ can notice a big change in me even since we've connected. It's something that I put a lot of effort into, because for me, it needs effort. So I resonate with both of you, and I love that Raven is teeing us up for a little teaser of what we're going to talk about in the next couple of weeks. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later, and we'll give time for Raven to express about her question. And I'm so excited to dive in to all of that as well. But I know that we're super excited to start integrating with you, because the reality is, all of these topics we could talk on and on and on about them, and there's always time to come back and reinvent and check in and tap in. But it's important, when we receive a lot of information, when we communicate stuff, when we have a lot of big emotions, to integrate, to process. It's okay to pause and integrate, and then it will still be there for you. Like, that's one of the biggest things that I have to keep reminding myself with patience. It's like, well, you're frustrated about that now. Guess what? That's still going to be a problem 10 minutes from now if you don't calm down and solve it. So you have time to pause and integrate. Um, and that's what helps us to fully be able to be empowered, and that self-mastery, as Raven was talking about, which is like so much of what all of us are here collectively. On an individual level, we are mastering what we came here to do as ourselves, for ourselves and for everyone. So I am so excited to see, because I also have no idea well, KJ said what she's going to be doing, which I imagine, but I have no idea what Raven has up her sleeve, and I can't wait to find out. So let's start with KJ.
It's 1:11 here on my side of the world right now.
Cool.
Yeah, I love it. So, yes, loving this conversation, right? The role of the observer. And I have the perfect oracle deck card, the ancient stones. If not observers, what are the stones on our planet, right? They've been here longer than us, for sure. So I'm going to do a collective oracle card pull to help integrate with our conversation around this today. I am also going to use my other deck, Sacred Destiny, a beautiful deck by Denise Lynn. Bear with me as I shuffle and go through the process. Like I said, some harmonic channeling messages might come through. We'll see what happens. Whoa. Flying out. All right. Oh, love. For me, all of these cards are so beautifully activating. Let's see if we can get one more from this deck. We've got Weather the Storms. I feel like that's so appropriate. And the Healing Stones, tenderness, care, gentleness, nourishment. That is what we're talking about with integration here. And Soul Agreement. Ooh, how exciting. I haven't seen two of these cards. So Very excited to get into this. Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. Talking about weathering the storms of life, watering, yourself, tending to yourself, your dreams. And we talk about how you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every 2 days to see if it's growing, right? You water it, you nourish it, you trust, you let that go and let it take care of its process. And then when it emerges into its life purpose, it's a beautiful thing. So let's see here. Weather the storms. Here is the image for this card. Oh, yeah, it's a really, really beautiful woman. Not the best camera for this.
Face.
On the card, it says, yeah, she's in the middle of a storm. Sky is stormy. Let it change you. Embrace the unexpected. The Earth's ancient stones are living history. They're an expression of our planet, yet they also hold its story. Water, fire, ice, and wind have been sculpting and shaping the Earth since it formed around 4.6 billion years ago, breaking down and dissolving its rocky surface and creating countless landmarks in stone. The stones know that every storm will pass, that the harshest weather shapes who we are over time. Nothing is ever wasted, and the greatest challenges end up being the very things that make us, not break us. The Weather the Storms card puts challenges into perspective. It reminds us that through challenge comes growth, and through hardship comes resilience. Literally what we were just talking about. Right there. So you're stronger than you think you are. You're becoming even more brilliant through the extremes of your life. Out of this, good will come. So have faith, root in, and let the changing seasons craft you into even more of who you truly are. Love. Soul Inquiry says, how can you embrace the changing seasons of your life? Secondly, we have the Healing Stones, which I have not had the pleasure of reading this card yet. Jamie, you're going to love this.
Wait, can you back it up a little bit? Wow.
Right? It's like circles of stones actually on the ground around him. He's got crystals. And it says tenderness, care, gentleness, nourishment. Stones have long been used in healing rituals by cultures across the world. When warmed, they can provide comfort and restoration for our aching bodies, and some traditions revere certain stones themselves for their magical healing qualities. This seemingly hard and harsh substance has the capacity to provide warm, gentle, magical, tender care. The Healing Stones card is, of course, the healing card of this deck. Maybe you're in the process of healing something physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. This card appears for the reader as a sign that deep rest and healing are in progress. It comes with an invitation to say yes to your healing and to trust the process. It's also a message for you to prioritize your body, mind, and soul above all else, to treat yourself with tender care, to replenish, to nourish, to go gently. How can you slow down your pace to that of the stones? How can you prioritize your body, mind, and soul? Ancient Stones activation. I choose to go gently and treat my body, mind, and soul with tender care. I love this so much. And it really just also does speak to using stones in your healing, right? I know all of us love crystals, but ever since I was little, I would collect rocks. One of my favorite things is go to the beach with my grandma and find agates or just rocks in general that called to me. I've had other practitioners comment on, seeing stones energetically reach out to me before I pick them up, and they'll be like, wow. So they are all around us, and they are so healing, right? And they hold so much wisdom. And so that wisdom of being gentle through the integration process that we've been discussing. Love that. Very, very pertinent for me too, Jamie. We're going through similar things. And then the third, sorry about the dryer in the background. Soul agreement. A beautiful grandmother with a new baby that she's watching over. Gates, this is like a whole beautiful stone city around her. It's kind of hard to see the details, but it's like an ancient stone city carved into the rock. Says soul agreement, soul mission, soul plan, life purpose. Your soul had a dream, and your life is it. Before you drew your first breath, your soul chose the perfect conditions for your return. It dreamed up the specifics for your soul's growth and journey. We all came here with a soul plan, a wish to be brought to life. This card is a card of destiny and purpose. Do you sense that you're in an important juncture in your life? Has something significant happened, or does it feel like it's beckoning you forth? Is a new relationship, creation, trip, opportunity, or agreement tugging your awakening heart, urging you to allow it to come to form? This may be something that truly excites you, or it could be something you've been resisting, or both. This card appears when you're experiencing something important from a soul perspective. It reminds you that what you're journeying through right now was chosen by your soul. It's a situation or experience that will result in your soul's growth. And while we have free will, we also have opportunities to say yes to moments in our life that were prearranged. And when we do, things seem to fall into place. Ancient Stones activation, I say yes to my soul's highest and deepest plan. I'm ready to be led every step of the way. I'm going to say that again. I say yes to my soul's highest and deepest plan. I am ready to be led every step of the way.
Love how that is like exactly what I said to you the other day. Oh my goodness.
Me too.
You know.
Ooh. I invite everybody to close their eyes. Focus on whatever stood out to you in that message. Take deep breaths into your heart space. As Raven said, it's so valuable to drop into our heart space, especially when going through an integration, when caring for yourself, being gentle with the observations that we have made in the process of observing this crazy thing called life. And shunukuru shunikitaka, shunukuri karakatiti titi, shunukuturu arikata shunukuri katikata shinakatushina. You are supported. You are held. You're the answer to so many prayers. Right here where you are now, at this point in your journey, reflect on what you have accomplished. Reflect on the past self that dreamed of having what you have in this moment. So much gratitude. And complete.
Thank you so much, KJ. That was awesome. Raven, what are you doing?
Me, I'm out literally in the galactic center. That's what Raven's doing. I'm here, but I'm in the galactic center because, those cards literally resonated to me. But what was very confirmation for me is because I have been slowing down, taking that time out and reflecting so much so, like a lot in between life be life. Because life is always going to be life, right? But also too, that card came out. I literally got the Pleiades and the star grandmothers, literally, because I saw the blue star. So that automatically came to me as the Pleiadians coming through. And the star moms, literally, right? We're on the right path. Trust the process and the journey. And we need to pause and slow down. The North Node is in Pisces, my loves. And it's about your body. and tapping into your sensual selves too, as well. Mind, your taste, your touch, and the animal cards. I got some animal cards that really want to speak right now at this time. So let's just see what the animal is surrounding us right now. When I love it, because it's the koala bear. Right? And Spirit has Spirit has a plan for each and every one of us. Exactly. Trust the process. Reflect, right? And there is a lot going to be going on. Things are really going to shift now more than ever because we really got Uranus going into Gemini for the next 8 years. So it's all going to be in the mental mind. We're already there already, right? A lot of the times. So we really is. I'm just going to keep saying it. It's all about the heart chakra. And to be in the fifth dimension, it is about the heart chakra. You're not going to be in the fifth dimension vibration unless you do not open up your heart chamber to do so. You know, so Spirit has got you, will always have you. And if you really fully trust in the universe, then let go and trust in the universe, because you are the universe. We are the universe. Spirit has us, no matter we're here or in another star system that we have came from many. Some of us came from many star systems, many lifetimes, and have a lot of ancient codes that are literally activating right now. And we're like unleashing a lot of layers and a lot of things. And time is going to speed up even more. You think time is speeding up now? It's going to speed up even more because this is Uranus and it's going to be very unpredictable. There's going to be a lot of mental. So I'm so glad we are doing this because a lot is going to be mentally unstable with their bipolarism and things. There's going to be a lot because of Mars is going to react. And yeah. So this a lot of 8 years is going to go on. It's going to be so different from it being from Taurus, you know, in Uranus that it has been for the last. But yes, so I'm just going to say we're going to feel more big shifts, and that's just one, right? We have all these other ones that are going on. But yes, and Saturn and Jupiter has a big role in it, and so does Pluto too. It's going to transform us into, you know, it has to. We are like coal, right? And we're the diamonds, and we got to go through the pressure. And it's going to be riptides. And July is going to be very more intense energies. It just is. We need to learn how to alchemize and process and give it time. And please don't take things personally. When you want something done right here, right now, that's not in divine timing. And that's what they've really been stressing to me a lot, just by pausing and reflecting. And you cannot control anything that's not in your hands or any of those things. And the collective energy, it's very chaotic right now because the world is very unstable. So it's very vital to stay hydrated, get your rest, turn off your electronics, go out and ground. I keep saying this even to my own clients, ground. It's so, so vital just to ground and have that reset as many times a day that you allow yourself to do so. But have that pause and have that reset because it is just so, so, so important. So much so. And with that, I land, everybody. And namaste and let us stay.
Thank you so much, Raven.
You're welcome.
Wow. What you said about if you want something right now, then it's not in divine timing is so important. I needed that reminder for the trillionth time.
Me too.
You know, something that's really been fascinating and frankly very playful within the universe that I've noticed a really big increase in, and I'm curious if both of you, I feel like I already know what you're going to say, but like I feel like this has been like a huge thing, and I wonder if both of you resonate. It's like not more than just the synchronicities amplifying and there being more of them, but like this cross pollination of very specific verbiage of specific messages coming out every which way. It's sort of like the idea that the way that I would describe it is before it used to feel like, you know, pre-awakening, it's like you missed the channel. right? Like you may flip to the channel and it's right there. The information is right there, but you're like, this commercial's boring. And then you like switch to the next one. And you start waking up and then it's like, oh, like maybe actually I think I'm gonna watch this commercial. I think this is kind of interesting. And then you flip the channel and then you're like, oh, I'm really into this show right now. And then, oh look, there's a movie and like, oh this, and it's kind of all over the place. And then there's now. And now I feel like waking in is more, it doesn't matter what channel, so long as the TV's on, you're going to get the message. And so it's like how KJ pulled card and it was like, I mean, truly, would you not say that was like almost verbatim of the message I gave you yesterday? And then I had sent to Raven, like I did this Arcturian channel for Insight
Mhm.
Timer,
Mhm.
and I didn't even re-listen to it yet. And then this whole Galactic Federation message from a totally other channel
Mhm.
or medium like came through, and I was like, this is like exactly what I was just talking about. But it's also what like 2 weeks ago the amphibians of Mintaka said. Like it's just coming from every which way, whatever show, whatever movie. It's amazing. And I think what it says to me is we are aligning more and more in our frequency, and the capacity to experience the frequency anywhere and everywhere allows you to experience it no matter what channel, because that's sort of like how two people on a totally different frequency could be side by side. And I'm not even just talking about like other dimensions. I'm talking about literally like two humans, like us perceiving each other right now, could be standing side by side and experiencing life completely differently on the completely different frequency. And there's just so many different frequencies that are coming through. So I am going to channel in some light language because I wanted to do something very different today, and they have been pestering me for the last 48 hours. Every second, I'm like, so this is what I'm going to do. They're like, nope, you're going to do light language. So I'm going to do light language because apparently that's what's called on every channel. So I invite you to have your eyes open or closed, whatever feels good for you, and just be open to receiving. Asura yaparene, karoi netaro, suri maria, karo nuesa, nena yetaro tui, ikara sheninu, sunu roma tiarate, karo nema, ushinirarate, saro poine tarakan, tarayushu, yenara umatenaya, tukose naro to yamasha, yoro inarapaine isha, yare unaropatene, Suru Yamatoye, Sara Manyatena, Karo Shonyoro Punyare, Tinarayamote, Taina Ramonayate, Shanoro Yotoru Shani, Kidaria, Tinayame, Shayara Nuru Shurupai, Tayane Kara, Tuene Parotuni, Ushunyaruminai, Kuruyate, Shurunyate, Karyamate, Tenoroshurone, Kamaniatene, Kurumoyatena, Shurapanate to Shurulaya, Tengariamonu, Sinuruituruyanenka, Saryamane, Suryamanea, Teniramena, Siniratena. These frequencies we're receiving at this time are reorganizing ourselves in a way that one could say is alphabetical, in that there is an order of sound and it follows the frequency in a way that makes sense for each and every one of our highest good and the highest good of all. Some of the frequencies feel slower, and sometimes they feel faster. Whatever ride you are experiencing, allow for the wave to take place. Receive and be. This is exactly where you are meant to see the wholeness of who you are and the destiny before you. Each choice allows you to embody a different frequency, each quantum leap a different time. And when you close your eyes or enter the astral, a different place, as all is fluid and all is free, together we will always be. And so it is. Namaste.
Wow.
How are we?
Well, I can say I'm super glad you decided to do light language. I got a lot out of that. I don't know if I've ever heard that dialect from you before. And to me, it was dragon. And I got like so many messages and downloads. So thank you for that. That was really beautiful and fun.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I don't know that it did feel different. it was sort of an amalgamation of things, but it definitely, I even as it first started to come out, I questioned, is this brand new? So thank you. That's very cool. And yeah, I can feel the dragon as well. How are you feeling, Raven?
I feel great. I just feel great. That's a great light. I'm really light as a feather in things. Yes, really great. But I've been spending a lot of time in nature, barefoot, sun gazing, watching the baby rabbits that I literally have in my yard since the end of May. And I'm watching them literally grow each and every single day, week. So yes, like taking the time to smell the roses, absolutely, right? But I'm literally taking the time and sitting down and what's the rabbit here to teach me? That's what I've been learning.
Follow-up question about the rabbits, because I feel like it resonates with everything we're talking about. I know we've talked a little bit about it, but I'm curious, what comes up for you now when you think about all of these bunnies and the correlation culturally that we have with time and the rabbit, for all of us Alice fanatics? What comes up for you in the fact that you are slowing down and yet the rabbit is like, we're out of time, like there's no time?
Well, these batty rabbits are not. They literally take their time. They play. They frolic around with mother and dad. Okay. And just peaceful and serenity. And I have the robins just correlating right beside them, gathering their worms and eating their worms, right? And robins are I have a lot, but I feed them too as well, right? But it's just like take out the time and patience, grace, resilience. That's what it's teaching me. And time literally is an illusion because it showed me the whole sacred wheel of time and the Stargate, and that baby rabbit was sitting right in the middle of it. Okay. So therefore, when that flash came through me, just like it is behind me, that's what I seen with the little baby rabbit, just showing me, hey, this is a stimulation and don't be taking it so seriously. And that's the truth. We're all talking about work, 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 but when are we having the time to sit down and really play? It's called balancing. not all working harder to be smarter. That's such an illusion too. It's really about, you don't really have to work as hard. And that's how it is now, because we're, this is Pluto and Aquarius for the next 20 years. It's all about technology and being the rebel and going against that status quo, because society has just it is a lot of illusions, and you really have to practice your own discernment. That's all. So those things, stop, pause, reflect. That's what it's taught me.
That makes total sense. It also really just hit me was like what you were talking about, the Gemini, and within the bunnies, being a very social animal,
Mm-hmm.
and the mental aspect. I think there's going to be tremendous growth that is needed
Mm-hmm.
within humanity on a mental, emotional, body level, just because the fact that the Gemini, that Mercury energy, is so quick, so excellent at problem solving, but also sometimes, if you're in that shadow aspect of it, then you're spiraling, right?
Yeah.
And the slowing down of the thought, I think it's a very interesting time. I'm very excited about what's to come. And before we get into what is coming in the next 3 weeks, let's tap into the comments, because we got some of those and I forgot to turn the show comments on button, so they didn't pop up on the screen. So here we go.
All right. Rev Lee says the stars may foretell but cannot compel. Yeah, that earlier when Raven was talking about not blaming our astrology or using that as an excuse, right? Absolutely. And a couple minutes later, he said, in like manner, choosing freedom from rather than remaining imprisoned by our past experiences allows us to leverage rather than be limited by the past experiences. So true. Definitely what resonates with our conversation about cultivating that role of the observer, because we talked about how that does enable us to make different choices, right? So choosing freedom and to see the story as different. Anitza says many blessings to all of you. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to have you here with us for such a powerful episode. Did you want to talk about what's coming next, Jamie?
Yeah. So Raven, do you want to talk about your... Yes. Do you want to talk about, just like a brief, exciting preview of like what we're going to talk about the next 3 weeks? And the question is, how do physical cues impact intimacy with others? Tell us your inspiration.
My inspiration is touching in about body wisdom. And what is your definition of body wisdom? Have you even thought about using your body wisdom? Because we are wisdom, right? Our innate, true ability of our wisdom. And our sensual, like I said earlier, sensual, right? Our taste, our touch, our smell, all of that. It incorporates very much so in this observer emotion. And that really does tap into being more intimate with ourselves, so we can be more intimate with our partnerships, our co-partners, whoever you're having relationships with, on all aspects of our lives, quite honestly, in all levels too. That's why, just to tap into our body, and somatic breathing, somatic techniques, and exercises too, as well. It's just so important, because that's really brings you back to breathing and brings you back to your center too, when we're literally going off the Richter scales, because we are humans and life, that is life.
And thank God for that, because if it wasn't lifing, we would not be life. We would not be live. Thank you so much, Raven. I'm so excited. Such a great question. And I'm so excited to talk about this over the next 3 weeks. And the integration possibilities as well are so huge. So, everyone, please make sure you drink lots of water and rest and honor the fact that you integrated this. I know that it may just seem less maybe serious, major air quotes, because you're watching, or listening to a podcast, over a couple weeks, but these are activations. And, for the three of us, certainly these things pop up as themes every week within whatever's happening. So this integration is very real, and it's important to give yourself that space. And we will be back for episode 28. Man, the rhyming is on fire. And Rev Lee also today. Yeah, I love a good rhyme. So we'll be back for episode 28, our introduction again to how do physical cues impact intimacy with others and, of course, ourselves. And that will be Friday at 1 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. CST, and 4 p.m. EST. And remember, intimacy.
Tipsy starts with them.
We love you unconditionally.
Much love.
Namaste. See you next time.
Namaste. Bye-bye for now.